If it's not making sense to you, by no means do you have to stay here for the whole entire time. But I want to make sure that I'm showing you a number of things that are going to make sense to you all. So,
Got
to my understanding, the business that you all are doing, there's various businesses. What business do you all currently use within Udo? Is that the carpet cleaning? Is that some other department or division of your business? What are you all using Udo for?
Uh, Basically, for the entire business, we use Odoo for
Okay.
sales, purchases, invoicing,
Okay.
manufacturing. I don't know if we are using manufacturing that much, but all the major parts of that,
Okay.
uh, major services that Odoo provides, we are using that for the business.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
And then as
far,
far as, oh, go ahead. My bad.
yeah, so far sales, purchases, invoicing, accounting, and then yeah, booking and scheduling. Those are the important areas that we focus on.
Okay. Gotcha. And when you schedule, you're scheduling appointments. Because once again, I keep seeing carpet cleaning. That's what you all are doing, carpet cleaning, or are you all doing something else?
No, no, that's what we focus on.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And do you all do carpet cleaning both residential and commercial, or primarily residential?
No, we do both
Okay.
residential and commercial.
Awesome. And as far as like workflow, whenever does a call come in, do you all get requests from an online source? How do you all receive your scheduling bookings?
So there's two way. If we receive a call, we can schedule an appointment ourselves,
Yep.
but the end user also has the option of going to the website and then scheduling the appointment by themselves. They can do that.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Cool.
So
All right.
once
I'm
they
gonna.
do, either way, if they call us or they directly go to the site, if they create an appointment, automatically a sales order is created on Odoo. So that's how we function.
Gotcha. And so, is there anything that you all need today that you're not getting out of Udo?
Yeah, it's more about scheduling, dispatching.
Okay.
That's the area we're looking for. And primarily daily, weekly, monthly. That's the scheduling and dispatching. That's the
Yeah.
stuff that we really want.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to show that to you today. If for any means, Vikram, if there's any questions whatsoever, don't be afraid to interrupt me. This is all about you guys, not necessarily about me. Believe me, I do this way too much to feel like this is about me. This is not my show. This is about you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and hop in, and then once again, if there's any questions, feel free to stop me. Okay.
Sure.
All right, look what we're looking at on the screen here. This is the SAWin cloud version. So we're sitting in the web browser. I usually use Chrome. Not sure what's going on with Chrome this morning, but
Mhm.
I'm in the Edge browser right now. So it obviously works cross functionally with any browser, whether however you all need it. But right
Mhm.
now we're looking at the dashboard view. Now the dashboard view is essentially how your company is performing, right? As those calls come in, as those requests come in, how are they being associated within the business, and then under the hood, what's being done. So as we look at this dashboard, we can see how many invoices we've created, how many pending quotes we have, how many customer locations. And when we think about customer locations, that's the reason why I say residential commercial, right? Sometimes the residential customer is at the location in which we bill, right? But the commercial customer may not be at the same location as where we send the bill, right? And so we need to make sure that there's a difference between the two, and we call those customer locations. So you'll be able to see the new locations that you have. You'll be able to set the metrics. Even if I come right here to details, I can open up the details, see all of those accounts. I can take me right to those accounts. I can also schedule some emails right out of the system for those new accounts to ensure that I'm communicating with those. Let's say, for instance, if I have some quotes out there or some new schedule appointments with them, I can actually send out those emails. Same thing goes for purchase orders. Do you all do any form of purchase ordering whatsoever?
Yeah, we do.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. All right. And so we'll be able to see the different purchase orders, those that are received, those to be ordered, and then we also can see any of those that are assigned to unassigned calls. We know how important it is to make sure that you have the right materials and the right products before you actually go out to the job site, right? That allows you all to be a lot more efficient, but
Mhm.
not have to worry about the downtime, right? The downtime of, well, hey, I don't have this, so I got to go and pick it up, and then that 30-minute trip took 2 hours, and now you're 2 hours out of your day because you had to go pick up these items, right? And so we just
Yeah.
want to ensure that you have all that information available to you so that every service ticket or work order or job, however you call them, is associated with the materials and the labor that it needs to be associated with. Okay.
Hmm.
We can also see calls by service type. So once again, residential and commercial, you can see the breakdown of the business and ensure that you have the right resources, whether it be technicians or once again materials in the right places. Pending maintenance schedule. Do you all do any maintenance scheduling or agreement scheduling, anything of that nature?
Not yet. Nothing so far.
Gotcha. Yeah. So one of the things I think about, because I'm also a forward thinker, not necessarily, hey, this is the present form of the business, but I've had a lot
Mhm.
of customers in the past set up service agreements so that they can have repeat revenue coming in and repeat income
Mhm.
coming into the business. And it's very similar to, hey, hey, we have a service plan that we can come out and clean your carpets, twice a year for this amount, right? And I'm a homeowner, man. I look at this carpet, I'll be honest with you. I need I need somebody out here stat because I
Yeah.
have two little kids. They're dropping stuff on the floor, and I tried to cover it up with the cart with a little rug, and no, it looks worse. So I think me and my wife would definitely invest in a service plan to ensure that somebody comes out and cleans our carpet um, during the times in which we have the most high traffic, right?
Yeah.
Holidays and birthdays and things of that nature. So I know you already know this. You're obviously in this industry, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
through
That's
what would be
that's
some
one
ways
of
to be
the
able to do it.
area. Yeah, that's one of the areas we've looked into, but we haven't started yet. So in
Gotcha.
future, near future, we'll definitely be opting for a service plan or something.
Gotcha. Well, the good thing is I can actually show you within the customer profile where you can actually set up contracts, which are essentially those service agreements or those maintenance agreements, however you want to call it. And then you can also set up billing tied to it as well. So if they, want to come out twice a year, well, we can set up twice a year automatic billing to that customer, so that not only are you getting the money, but you also have it scheduled so there's no cracks that it's falling within. Okay.
Cool.
All right, we can also see our tech performance. So if you want to see how they're performing across the board, you can see that here. There's also a nice little analysis tool that shows you the hours that they worked and spent. So
Mhm.
depending on the tech in which I'm looking for, I'll be able to see a little bit more of those details based off, once again, the work that they're doing. And then all of these widgets here, dispatch volume, all of these widgets can be customized. As you'll see here, we have various widgets. We get recommendations from our customers all the time to say, hey, would you all mind creating this widget? Because I think it would be important for me to be able to see this on our dashboard. So all of this is once again customizable. You can see here that I have multiple dashboards. I'm not just set to a standard dashboard, but I can have multiple to where they focus on specific things. Okay. So this could definitely be helpful to you all across the board. And you'll see here I can add as many dashboards as I want.
Mhm.
Any questions about the dashboard before I move on?
Nothing so far because there's a lot going on here, and it pretty much provides every detail possible. So
Oh yeah, yeah. We wanted to
that's
at
good to
least
know.
give you a representation of what's happening under the hood. All right, as we come up here, this is what I call the essentials toolbar. So dashboard's what we're looking at right now. If we come over here to admin, I'm just going to keep it there. This is kind of like you're setting up your back office, right? You were used to this and doing the setup with Udo. This is how we're going to set you all up. We do provide you all with an implementation manager that's going to be with you for the first 60 days. Their job
Mhm.
is to not only educate you and train you, but also help you implement and set up the software. Okay, so none of this is required to do it on your own. You seem like a very smart individual, so I'm sure you could do this on your own, but don't feel like you have to. We got somebody to help you in the background. We work with various industries as well, Vikram. So we don't believe that our software is just geared towards the HVAC plumbers and electricians that we've signed up in the past, but because
Mhm.
we have the ability to manage our dictionary, the terminology depending on each industry is different. And so we want you all to have the ability to be able to change it to what you use in your day to day as opposed to what we think you should use. It's not about us, right? It's about you guys. So we can do that. We can also manage groups. If you do crews or you do teams, you can have teams set up under groups.
Mhm.
Manage users speaks for itself. And then any email and text template, text communication that goes out, we build into a template so that you all, it's a rinse and repeat. Get the email out, confirm that we're on the way, confirm that we've completed a job. These are the tasks and checklists that we've completed. once again, off on that job, on to the next one. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Now, as we come over here, there's two ways that we can provide you all with this software solution. One's going to be the service side. The other one's going to be the sales and marketing side. Okay. So you'll see here service, which I'm hovering over, and then we also have a sales and marketing side. Okay. Now, the main differences between the two is service is geared towards the service in which you all provide. The sales and marketing is about generating up those new leads, generating new business, creating quotes, providing you all with those quotes so you can convert those over into actual jobs. You don't have to use the sales and marketing side by all means. If you know that customers are going to call you and then they're going to request on your website to for someone to come out there, and that's all you do is jobs, forget I even mentioned the sales and marketing. Okay, but just know that it's available to you if you want to use it.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Now on the service side, as we go into the customer location, you'll see here we go maintain customer location. Before I do that, I just want to show you a few other features. We have the task list here on things that you all can do throughout the software. So we duplicated the dashboard for you all. You can book a new service call without having to go to the customer location from here. Whether it's a new customer or whether you're looking up an old customer or existing customer. Automatic call scheduling is based off of your availability. So if you have the availability set for all of your technicians, customers can request from our online portal to actually schedule with your availability. And it automatically schedules it for you so that once again, you all don't have to put a hand on it. Okay.
That's
We
cool.
also have recommendations. So if you go out there and they don't want to move forward with something, you can store that in recommendations and come back to it later so that you all don't have to think, well, hey, what do we need to do when we go out there? Instead of drumming up two drives out there, right? You've already done the one. All you need to do is set it up, confirm it with the customer, and then go out to the location. So recommendations can be helpful for you. We also do appointment confirmations to ensure that they're showing up and at least you're available to do the work and be able to get into the door or get on site to do the work. And then the various list goes on, right? Contracts, invoices, payroll, and that's payroll reporting, not necessarily payroll, a payroll program. So all of this is available to you within the software. Whenever it's time to receive payments, you'll see here we're under accounts receivable. This is how we're going to receive payments. Now, how do you all take payments right now?
I mean, it's through uh, credit card or we use Stripe for payments.
Stripe? Okay. Okay. Cool.
By the way, Jerry is here, so that's
Hey,
good.
good morning, Jerry.
Hey,
I appreciate
this
you.
looks very updated.
You can grab, you can grab that chair.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming and giving us a little bit of your time today. I know as V reached out to you this morning, you were taking care of some personal stuff, so I appreciate you taking the time again and seeing what we have to show you. As I was mentioning to Vikram, a lot of what you see here is really customizable to your industry and to your business. As I go through here, it's really about showing you the possibilities, and then if everything sounds good today, we can schedule another meeting and do a little bit of a deeper dive into your workflow, into some of the needs that you all have when it comes to scheduling and dispatching. And then once again, we can talk about next steps once we finish up here. So if you have any questions right now, Jerry, I'm all for jumping around, but or I can
I've
keep going the way
actually
we should go.
I used SAWIN with First Service.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did
Um,
that for about 3 years, so I'm
gotcha.
familiar, but this looks different. There's more color now.
Yeah, yeah, we I would open up the old system, but I'm not gonna do that to Vikram. We still use it. We still use that big system that First Service uses. We've made some enhancements to it, but it still looks very similar. A little bit of color, but not as much color as you see here. So the
Yeah.
main differences really between the two is this one's going to be cloud and sit in the web browser, as well as needing to connect to QuickBooks if it's about accounting. Now, if you guys don't want to do QuickBooks, if you're not using QuickBooks, and I guess the question would be, are you using QuickBooks or using another accounting system?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. And is that QuickBooks or is that something else?
QuickBooks
Okay. Desktop or online?
online.
Online. All right, awesome. So this one right here is going to use, and I'll go to it so you can see it. This one's going to use QuickBooks to handle the accounting side. We have both the online version, which is this first one, and then the desktop version. So whenever we connect to it, we're essentially pulling data out of your QuickBooks to ensure we're mapping it to the right fields in our system. Once we've done that, we just essentially turn the switch, and then make sure that everything goes into your QuickBooks the way in which it's needed. Um, the Pro Enterprise, which is the larger system, been around for 20, almost 30 plus years of standalone accounting, standalone payroll, everything's done within that system. Um, but it's a lot more customization because we customize it specifically for every single business, right? Similar to First Service. So highly would recommend this one because it's easier to use. I would say I've been at the company for about 3.5 months, but easier to use from my perspective. It's based in the web browser, so I can access it anywhere. I don't have to worry about remote network desktop and all that other stuff. But once again, I'll continue to show you a little bit more about what it can do, and if it continues to make sense, definitely want to keep talking. All right, so receivable, that's how we're going to receive payments. And then miscellaneous, you'll see here, we do pull any parts or materials that you may have out of QuickBooks. If that's not something that you all want to do, by all means, once again, we don't have to do that. I talked a little bit about the sales and marketing piece. This is mainly for your sales teams or for your estimators. Um, and what we try to separate the two to ensure that the dispatch board is not clunky and it's not, filled with all of this additional stuff on there that doesn't need to be on there. So we separate the sales and marketing to have their own dispatch board as opposed to sitting on the main dispatch board. Can we merge the two? Absolutely. You can actually create your own views, who you want to include in both of the views. But we also know that some of our larger companies, they have their own sales team. They probably hire a part-time sales team to go out there and do door to door or make phone calls. Once again, they can keep everything in the sales and marketing side as opposed to the service side. Then we have our reports, various reports. I mean, the list goes on from service accounting, whether it be billing, revenue cost by invoice or by technicians. We can look at our open work orders. We can look at customer locations, equipment, you name it, everything across the board. And one thing I really love about the software is, and I'll show just a quick report real quick, is however you all want to manipulate the data. Let's say, for instance, you want to pull it in and export it into Excel. You can definitely do that. If you want to generate a PDF, essentially anything that you all want to do here, you can, and we can export it out of the system. Okay. All right, so let's have some fun. Let's go to the dispatch board real quick. Now, I haven't moved my jobs. I'm gonna be honest here. So you're not gonna see any jobs yet, but if I were to move the jobs over from I believe I had them on the second. Let's double check. There we are. Yep. So this is what the dispatch board looks like. Now, this is what we consider our basic view. Basic view essentially shows all of our unassigned on the left side, and then any jobs that we have scheduled on the calendar to the right. Now, all of the jobs are going to have various times and dates based off of the basic view. We just show a list view so that these technicians know what jobs they need to complete. Now, I would say on average, on a daily scale, how many jobs do these technicians typically have? Is it one, two, maybe three?
It ranges anywhere between 1 to 3.
1 to 3? Okay, gotcha. So yeah, so we'll see 1 or 2 of those, 1 to 3 of those appointments, very similar to what we see right here with Mr. David Haycraft or Claudia Haycraft or Matt Work here. Now we can see some information if we hit the eye icon. It gives us a little bit details into the actual job that we're going out there to complete. We also have it to where we can right click on the job and it takes us to a menu option that allows us to go in and dig a little bit deeper into this job. So whether or not I want to go to the call details, reschedule it, cancel it, create a PO, view the invoice, change outcome codes of whether it's completed, needs approval, needs parts. Once again, you can do all of that right from here. You can send a text message out to the customer right from here. Once again, full flexibility when it comes to your dispatch board. Now, we also have various other views. So this is, once again, the basic view. We also have what I like to call the split view. All this essentially doing is bringing more technicians visible into the window so that we can see them. For any others that were not in here, because we have quite a few technicians in our system, you can scroll over to the right and see those. The other views that we have are the horizontal time slot, which a lot of people are used to in the space that we're in, to see the time at the top, technicians on the left. We also have the vertical time slot view, which is a view that a lot of people prefer because they like to see that time on the side, right? Whether it be Google Calendar or iCal or any calendar that's out there, that's how they display the calendar. And once again, we want to provide that to you all. Now, I'm all about being transparent and being honest. Right now, we're working on the multi-day view. We had, as you'll see here, it's not going to load up. We're working on that view essentially to be that weekly view, but as well as being able to scale it to a 2 week view. We truly understand that you all, when you schedule in advance. You don't schedule the day of or a day before. It's usually in advance, and so we have the multi-day view that we're working on, as well as a full calendar that we're going to be bringing to the software, and it's in Q&A right now. So I don't have the ability to show you Q&A from my browser because I'm not the product owner, but I sat in his office on Friday morning to show me the mockups, and we should have it in market or at least released to our customers by this Friday. So
Y'all
once
already
again,
have it. Y'all have it set up for the old one though, right?
yeah, we definitely have it set up for the old one. We're gonna map over the similar frame and layout of it. But the only other thing that we're gonna bring into is just the simplicity of the calendar. I think before we had the calendar to where you could see which ones were assigned, which ones were attended, which ones were completed, and you can see that on the calendar. You get the breakdown. I told them I would love for us to see a 4 line block on the calendar so that it gives you the information of the customer, gives you the address, gives you the technician or technicians that are assigned, and then any other field that maybe potentially notes, right? The description of why we're going out there, what are some of the things that we need to go out there with. And I'll show you the mobile app so you can see. Really, we're going to take the simplicity of what the mobile app shows and put that into a calendar view. And once again, I'll show you that to you all in just a second. All right, and then what was the last view? Okay, and then when I talked about templates before, if we come up here, you see right here, I'm under all. If I come right here to DW template, you'll see here that it's just me on the schedule, but it's not just me. It's me as a technician and me as a sales rep. So as I mentioned before, if you have sales folks that you want to include in a view from the dispatch board, you can still include them as opposed to having it separate. Okay. And then we also have it to where you can view your calls on the map. So if you want to see all of your calls, you'll see your technicians as well as your calls, and you can click on it, get some basic information, and it takes you right to where the job's going to be located. And then if you from the mobile app, you'll be able to see the routes from that mobile app based off of the app preference, whether it be Google Maps or Waze or Apple Maps, what have you. Okay. And then the last thing I didn't get a chance to show you, let me bring back up the original template, is drag and drop capabilities. So when we want to schedule something, all we need to do is take the job, click on it, drag it, drop it. It's going to automatically schedule it for the technician. Because we have zone preferences or territories, it just wants to make sure that I'm scheduling it with the right technician in the right territory. I'm in Texas, it's in Mississippi. I should never be scheduled something in Mississippi. So we want to make sure we put that gate in place to ensure that we're not scheduling something out of our work environment. Okay. Anything else I can answer for you? Any questions in regards to the dispatch board?
So each order also, each one means something specific, whether you can predefine it correctly. So there's the
Absolutely.
green, orange, blue, yellow, all that.
Yeah, so all of that, if and I can show you real quick, all of that's going to be based off of the type of job that it is. So this is a commercial service type. So it's a commercial plan maintenance is the green, and you all are in charge of all those colors and what it looks like on the dispatch board. So as you go through the implementation process, you may say, hey, I want all of my commercial jobs to be green. I want all of my residential jobs to be blue. Once again, you are going to be in charge of that.
And then the A and C and all that, what does all that mean again?
Yeah,
I know what it is,
so
but I'm gonna ask.
yeah, I got you. So there's a legend up here. A means assign, D means dispatch, C means complete, U means unassigned, P means arrived. And then right now I have it turned off, but I have a setting that I can turn on to have it blink when we're running late on a job, and I'll show you what I mean. So when all right, right here. So when calls are running late, we can have it blink. So I'm going to hit save. And then I'm sure I have some jobs on here that are running late. So
Super.
at least I was hoping so. Oh, okay. Well, they're not. That's why they're not blinking. I'm not on today's date. So it's gonna look at the logic of today's date to make sure that the time is running. But when it's running late, and let's see if I can actually move it to today. I don't think we have anything on today's schedule. No. So oftentimes what I do prior to me doing demos, which I didn't do today, is I can actually reschedule all of my calls or reschedule some of the calls by coming to the hamburger option, reschedule call, and then I can essentially move all of my calls to whichever date that I want. So I'm going to do that right now because I do have other meetings today, so it'll probably be best to do that. So I'll move it all over to the 6th. It'll take obviously about a minute to pull in what is that, 99 jobs into today's date based off of all the technicians. But if for any reason you all want to schedule a few of them, reschedule a few of them to a certain technician, you can see here you have the option to be able to do that. So I can choose move call date or assign to a certain technician, or I can extend it to a certain date, right? So it may have been for today, but I need it for the next 2 days, right? I can extend that date out to make sure that we keep that on the schedule. Okay. So I'll wait for that to come up. While I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and pick up the mobile app so you all can see what that looks like. Does Udo provide you all with a mobile app right now?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, gotcha. I didn't charge my phone last night. Come on, let's do better, Darrell. Let's do better. All right, I've got so used to these wireless charging. I have one of these blocks that I bought from Verizon, and so I carry that thing around with me everywhere I go. So I don't. I try not to do that, or I think my subconscious is like, look, we already got a charger, so we don't need to put it on the charger all day. All right. So this. All right. Let's go ahead and move this over to the 6. All right. So now it's based off of the 6. You see the blinking now?
Yep.
Yeah. So just showing you that. And part of the reason why I turned it off is sometimes when I'm on the demo and the screen's blinking, I'm like a cat. I'm like, oh, okay, what is that? All right, it's just blinking. That's it. I'm, I'm I'm really bad. I told my kids, I said I was hoping that I would mature and grow out of this, but for some reason I like shiny things. So my I'm always looking at other stuff. All right, so we have it on the calendar. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the mobile application, and then I'm gonna show you guys the mobile app. I'm going to show from my phone, and I always, always, always like to give a disclaimer. This is a personal phone, so if anything pops up, I promise you shouldn't be X-rated. But if anything does pop up, it's probably my wife yelling at me because I didn't take out the trash or something of that nature. So I like to be honest because I promise you, I've done this, like I said, 5, 6 years. My wife, she was calling me and I wasn't picking up. And she tore into me. She was like, I was calling you. I had a flat. And I was like, but I was in the middle of a demo. So what's more important? Uh, I have fun with it only because, we've been married for 11 years and she's my high school best friend turned high school sweetheart. And the rest of it is history. All right. Today is the 6th. All right, let's go ahead and mark. Oh, that's why I'm like, why am I not seeing it? I'm signed into the wrong account. I was like, that's not my picture up at the top. I was helping a customer out the other day, so let's just make sure I am logged into the right account. And uh, 2, 3. So one cool thing about our mobile app is it's invitation by invitation only, and you all will provide the code to your technicians. They can download the app right now, right? It's a free app in the Android App Store as well as the Apple App Store, and they can download it once they are provided with the code that you all provide them. Then you can provide them with their login credentials because you'll be able to set that in the in the main system. So what we're looking at right now is obviously the mobile app from today's view. In order for us to do anything, we have to mark ourselves on duty. So right there, right under my picture, you'll see an on duty. We just want to mark that. It's going to default for the time right now. And that allows us to actually make changes in here and then audit, and then log our activity so that if we want to audit what's happened within the platform, we can do that. Okay. Now, this is my schedule for today, anything that I have on the schedule for today. So I can scroll, you'll see these are all of my jobs. If you look at the block here, once again, this is what I would like for us to see on our multi-day view as well as our calendar, so that you all, once again, can see the customer, see what location it's for, whether it's an emergency, whether it's an AM call, PM call, 12 to 2, 10 to 1. Once again, you all are going to determine that. But we also want to know whether or not purchase order is available or parts are already included. Right now, I only have one job with a purchase order, and that's this one with Kate Work. And then I don't have any with parts as of right now. I can add those parts later, or I can add them before I even go out to that job and that location. Okay. Before I click on any of these jobs, down below, you'll see here that we have an inventory option. That's for any inventory that we may have in a truck or a van or a main warehouse. We have our time card option, which shows us when we clocked in, when we said that we were dispatching to a customer location, when we arrived, when we completed that work, when we got to the next job, etc. Right? So logging those hours for you. And then the menu option allows us to be a little bit flexible with being able to search our customer base, add a new customer, go into the unassigned calls. We even have it to where if you scroll down below, we have offline capabilities. So for any reason you guys go, let's say into a basement somewhere, which I don't believe we have basements in Texas, but Odessa may just be a little bit different because here in Houston, I don't think there's any basements. I would love one. I grew up in Nebraska, but just not, the cars that we were dealt here in Texas. So you may go into a crawl space, something just where there's not a lot of signal. The system's going to allow you to open up the offline mode, which is essentially any of the jobs that you have scheduled for today. You have the ability to have it downloaded on the phone. You can update the job. You can upload pictures. You can even add notes or and capture signatures while not having any signal. Okay. And so this is one of the features that we wanted to bring to the app, which was requested from our pro enterprise customers. Jerry, as you mentioned, using that in the past. So a lot of functionality here. We can once again dig a little bit deeper into some of these as we have some allotted time. But let's just kind of go through the workflow of completing a work order. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Buzz Walsh. This is at Walsh Residence. So this is at a college campus. It's an emergency call. They have no heat in baby's room. So I don't know why they would need heat in a baby's room at a college. Maybe it's a one of those labor and delivery. That sounds about right. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that. And when I do, it gives me my contact information, what it is that I need to do when I get out there, who it bills to, service master, location and record. We have our problem description, and then I can even go in, look at any equipment, purchase orders, call parts, tech notes, work signature, documents, pictures, you name it. And even in our system, you actually have the ability, and I like to show this, to take a picture, select from your gallery, select a video, capture a video, and upload a document. So when people see that video, oh, I can upload an hour. No, it's not an hour. Okay. It's 15 seconds. And we're gradually, as technology improves, we can gradually start to see that go from 15 to 30 seconds and to more. The purpose of this is not to give, a full featured film, right? But it's to touch on some of the things in which you all are doing. For instance, before, right? A before video of the area does not take an hour, right? It can be a few seconds, and then after, right? A few seconds, send it over to the customer. They see the quality of the work that you've done from the before to the after, and they're satisfied. It's a nice little level of professionalism. So we provide that to you all within the platform. And then if we scroll up to the top, we'll see here that in order to get started, we have to go into call time. Okay, so I'm going to hit that pencil icon. When I do that, I'm going to go ahead and dispatch out to the location. When I hit dispatch, it'll automatically register the time for right now. And the cool thing for me is they receive that notification. Hey, he's on the way. We can include the bio, picture, a little bit about the technician as well. And then whenever they arrive on site, they're just going to hit arrive. Okay. Once they hit arrive, they can go ahead and start doing the work. Now, one of the things I didn't show you all was if we go all the way back to the tech calls, okay, to get to that location, all I need to do is hit this map icon. It's going to open up Google Maps for me, automatically plug in plug in the address. And then if I am in my vehicle driving, it will automatically start that drive for me. Okay. Now, clearly, I'm nowhere close to Colorado Springs. I'm in Houston, so I'm probably not going to make it there for another day or two. But once again, you hit that icon, it takes you right to Google Maps, so you can get to that location, and then the rest is part of the workflow. So I've dispatched. I arrived to the location. Now, what I have the ability to do, which is one thing that I truly love about our software, is if you look all the way down, not all the way down at the bottom, middle of the screen, it says checklist. You guys see that?
Mhm.
All right. So checklist is the ability to create a what some people will call a fillable form, but it's really just a kind of like a survey or a checklist of things that you all want to complete before you actually complete the job or before you even do any work. So one of the examples is I'm going to do the summer PM, and you'll see here that we have things in which you can confirm that they've done. So whether they've replaced certain things, they've checked certain things, they've rated or graded, certain quality of, the floor or of the carpet. Capture a customer signature, you can save it. That saves onto the profile. Even if we were to go into checkout of call, you'll see here, did I capture signature? Did I capture pictures? Hit save, right? And so these are things that are going to help you all keep the technicians in order to make sure that every job gets the same amount of quality and the same amount of attention. Okay.
I've
And you
got a
can even
question.
have,
Can
go
you
ahead.
customize that checklist based
Yeah,
on the
absolutely.
customer? Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. So you can have as many checklists as you all want there. It's really up to you all to train your team on how to use the checklist and what information goes in there. Okay.
Got it.
Yep. All right. And then let's see here. And then last but not least, once we've done all the work that we have been scheduled to do, we've completed everything, we're walking out the door, we're ready to go ahead and mark it completed. We're coming back here to call times. We're going to hit complete. You'll see here that there's a gate. Okay. They have to select an outcome code in order to move forward. Okay. So that outcome code is right above invoice. So we hit outcome code, whether it's complete, incomplete, needs approval. These are all things that you all will be able to customize. Okay. So for right now, I'm going to mark it complete. I'm going to hit done, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit complete. I've now completed this job. Okay. Now, if we're going to invoice out of the system, the invoice number is the same as the job number. Okay. So there's no, hey, what is that invoice number? Once again, should be the same. We hit that invoice. We can then add our parts and materials. We can add our labor. We can add all of that. Keep in mind, if they did this in the office prior, all we're doing is just confirming that this information is accurate, and we're getting it out to the customer either via text message or an email, or if we want to do it I consider it the old school way, but it's not really the old school way. It's kind of a hybrid of printing out their invoice right there on site. Some people still use those mobile printers. They connect their phone to that printer, print it out, and hand deliver to them that invoice, letting them know that they have to pay it within 30 days, or is that going to be MasterCard or Visa? So you all can process that payment right from here. All you have to do is middle of the screen payment type. And my payment type isn't working. Let's see. Okay, that's probably why. All commercial. Let's add item. Just gonna add one.
Yeah, the guys used to take payment all the time.
Yeah, I'll take a look into that one. I think it's because I don't have my payment gateway set up already. But right from here, we can hit from the far right at the top. That's our text message icon. Allows us to send this out and the invoice to them in a text message. Then right from there, we have our email icon. Once again, we can email this out to the customer right from the email. And when we email it, you'll see here, it'll let us know that the email was sent. Okay. And we have obviously a record of that. It also tells me in the app that it was emailed successfully. Okay. Now from here, if the technician is pretty much complete and you want them to capture a signature, they can actually send this out to the customer so that they can capture a signature or gather a signature from the customer, or they can go ahead and sign it right from here. So there's various things that they can do once they've completed the work, but it's solely up to you all. You even see the picture icon up there if you want them to be able to capture some pictures. So that's pretty much the mobile app. All they would really do is come back here. They would see that the call is completed. It was completed at 10:55, and now they're just moving on to the next jobs that they have on the list. So they would scroll, find the job, tap on it, and then get to the location, get to work, complete it, get it out, whether it be an invoice or at least complete it for you folks in the office to get that invoice out to the customer.
Yeah.
Any questions about the mobile app?
There's not too much that's changed here. This is all pretty similar to what we were working with.
It pretty much does everything there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it actually has a lot of the accounting and everything on it too.
Absolutely.
So it's work, parts, accounting, invoicing, signature, payment.
And we have an integrated payment solution. It's called SAWIN Pay. That allows you all to be able to take those payments and for it to sync up not only with the SAWin platform, but also with your QuickBooks, and instead of having to do that dual entry. I know that with Stripe, if you're using Odoo and Stripe, it's kind of very similar. Where Stripe, you'll be able to take the payment, it'll push it into Odoo as well as push it into QuickBooks. So we're very, very similar. We just don't have the connection to Stripe right now. It's only SAWin Pay, but we're working on looking at some alternatives for some of our customers that that when we try to compete with their rates, because right now we are very competitive. We actually beat everyone's rates, even Stripe, Square, who was it, Stripe, Square, and QuickBooks. We beat their rates because essentially what we want to do is we obviously want to earn your business, right? And if we already have you with the software, we want to make sure that we're happy on the payment side as well. So we can definitely talk a little bit more into that as as you all determine whether or not this is going to work for you all. But I guess that's the transition as we wrap up the meeting because we're running a little bit low on time. Was there anything today that that was like a red flag or not something that you all could see yourself using?
No, I guess it pretty much does everything that we were looking for. Yeah. For the dispatch board, can you, I know it shows you the date view. Can you like sort it out based off week or month?
Not right now. That's what we're working on. We're working on that weekly and that month view. It was something that we are going to bring over from, as Jerry mentioned, the Pro Enterprise business. But as I've told them, I think it's a little outdated the way in which they want to structure the calendar view, because ultimately, if I am an end user, I want to see what that job is, as opposed to just a list of how many of them I have.
Yes.
And I think they were gearing it towards the list of how many you have, as opposed to the actual jobs and listed on the actual calendar. So I wanted to provide you all with that.
Yeah, and then whenever you would see those jobs, so say like, I don't know, the 15th, you would have 15 jobs, and you have 15 techs. Well, you would have one job per tech. You just click on it, it takes you that day, and then you can look.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I should have once again a better visual that I can show you all this Friday, as our team was working and have been working working on it for the last week or so. But one of the requests came in from a customer I signed up early April, and this is one of the things, as I mentioned to people, is if you all need to see something out of the software and you truly believe that it's going to help, tell me about it, because the reality is we know that it's not just you as the business that can benefit from it, but it's also our larger customer base can benefit from it as well. We're not the ideal people. We're more of the implementing people, right? And so for you all, if you all have the idea, we're all open to hearing different ways in which we can enhance the platform, because we truly believe that if you all see the benefit in using the platform, especially on the day to day, and you adopt it on the day to day, you'll start to find the efficiencies or preach to the efficiencies so that we can put them in place. So Anytime you all have a suggestion based off of our conversation today or even in the near future, by all means, bring it to the table. I have been surprised. I've worked at software companies before. I worked at a company called Service Fusion. I shouldn't have mentioned their name, but it is what it is. I worked there, and it took us years to get stuff out of the door as far as dev work. I have been here for 3 months, and I have seen 7 enhancements to this platform in the 3.5 months that I've been here. And to me, that speed and scalability of being able to take this program where we needed to go is really just a testament to the team and their dedication to get out a good product. We looked at the Service Titans of the world. We looked at the Service Fusions, the House Call Pro, the Jobber, and said, hey, what can we take from all of those and bring into a platform? Especially with SAWin being around for a very long time, we took a lot of the history in which we had working with a lot of these contractors as well. So this is sort of the best of both worlds. We're still building on it, but it's a really great product. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Believe me, I was sitting posh in a 5 years working at Service Fusion. That we were selling 200 plus accounts, but the software wasn't great. It's like I said, we hadn't seen new development in 2.5 years. So we were kind of getting left behind by companies like this that are really truly trying to innovate in the industry. And I'll shut up. I talk all the time. I'm a sales guy. I talk all the time. So I'm gonna shut up. Let you guys express any additional questions before we hop, and hopefully we can talk a little bit in the near future.
Sure. Absolutely.
All right. So if there's no questions, I have to end with this because I'm in sales. I have to at least throw my pitch out there. Um, Based off what you guys saw today, are you all looking forward to moving forward with SAWin?
Yeah, kind of excited about it.
Yeah. Awesome.
And
So
let me get here with my team and then
yeah.
discuss everything what I saw today. And
Okay.
then I'm pretty sure that I'll ask some more questions.
Awesome. So what I'm going to do, thank you so much, Vikram, for one, being here. Jerry, you missed the first 10 minutes. I was having issues with my system. Vikram was very patient. So one, I just want to share my appreciation for that. I'll reach out to you guys, let's say, in a few days, maybe towards the end of this week to see if there's any additional questions, maybe schedule an additional meeting with you guys, and then we can go from there. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks again so much. Stay cool. I know Odessa can be a little hot and arid and dry at times, so stay cool where you guys are, and I look forward to talking to you all very soon.
Sure. Thanks for all the info.
No problem at all. Bye bye.
Bye.